This video is rated TV-16, has some harsh language which may not be appropriate for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, Heavy Metal Explosion coming at you with another figure discussion. And this here is War for Cybertron, Earthrise, Optimus Prime. I like this figure. I'm just going to get that out there now. But I think the execution of this figure may have been a little off, possibly. And definitely the price point is way off. I mean, it's a lot of money for this guy, considering the robot size as opposed to what a regular deluxe slash Voyager, maybe, or even still maybe a Voyager. I understand that plastic costs money, so the more plastic, the more money, but the overall grand scheme of things, it's a little bit high on the price tag. But I can get into that in closing discussions. This here is an excellent representation of the cartoon model, the not necessarily the toy version, but it is representative of what the original G1 toy was shooting for, which was supposed to be, cartoon. I use that term so loosely, cartoon accuracy. Wasn't really cartoon accurate, G1, but it was shooting for a common middle ground. Anyway, this here is a great representation of the cartoon and comic style Optimus Prime. If you can find them, the cost of them is high, but again, if you can find it, I would pick it up. I did pick it up, but that's only if you have the money in order to sink into it. Obviously, this is a better version, more or less, of the Siege Optimus Prime. No, I hadn't reviewed that one. I haven't even put a discussion out on it because it's trying to be more like this, but also be Cybertronian-ish. I don't know. I think it does more to be a retro style Earth vehicle than it is more or less Cybertronian. Let's see. Well, I really think that's pretty much it. This figure looks the part. I mean, it very much looks like uh, cab over Freightliner, something my dad used to drive when he was still alive. So we'll give you a little roundabout view of it. I really like the way they molded in the taillight fixtures. So later on, if you want to either hand paint them if you're a customizer, or maybe get some kind of stickers or something. I don't know about stickers. Probably hand paint will do it. But it really is a nice callback. These are even real close to being what you would see on a real tractor trailer. Even this has the remnants in there of real rims. But I've always liked kind of the front end. It's very similar to the MP10. And I believe there's several people. My MP10's packed up, so I can't give you a comparison on that. Maybe I'll put if I can find some pictures, I can put something right over here. How about that? Or we'll stick them off to the side and put my hand down here, make it look like I'm holding it in the air or something like that. I don't know. So, been told I was drunk once. No, I'm not. Anyway, I'd like to be. Probably help me sleep. It's got the fuel tanks here on both sides. But you got some paint here. Clear plastic up in here. All this whole section is clear plastic right here. It's just painted red. Silver on that. Silver there. They could have painted that silver. I'm not sure why Hasbro didn't paint that, but they did paint those. Not sure, but you got some silver here. Silver, 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 silver. Silver, 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 silver. Nice Autobot logo. Excuse me, guys. I think there was something I missed in transformation. I'm not sure. I might dig out my Earthrise Optimus Prime and give you a robot comparison, but we'll see by the end of this video if I have the time or the patience to go digging, because I don't need all these Optimus Primes. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I touched base on this discussion when I put out my G.I. Joe one about the multiples, Snake Eyes, Dukes, Cobra Commanders, etc., etc., etc. And the same goes here. You know, you don't need all these Megatrons. You don't need all these Optimus Primes, Star Screams, all bunched up together. Like, excuse me, I've got I guess allergies in my old age, so it's a little bit rough on me. And so the transition from Earthrise, Siege to Earthrise, was kind of something that you would expect to see. This is supposed to be a Cybertronian vehicle, so to speak, and much like on the cartoon, except I guess Hasbro didn't want to sink the money into so alien style Cybertron modes. Uh, and this, and then they come to Earth and then get converted over to Earth vehicles. So I understand the idea, but with this stuff only lasting 12 months at a time, and they're doing, basically trilogies, you're not getting enough time in with these characters, where some of them can stay on Cybertron, some of them goes to Earth, but you're not getting enough of the investment, more or less, where it would probably be more or less a better investment if they went, every 18 months for these trilogies. That way it can sink in, you can play with the toys, you can gift them, you can do whatever you want with them. And then by the time the next phase comes around, you're expecting, whoops, hit the camera. You're expecting a Earth mode Optimus Prime. Maybe not in wave 1, but maybe in wave 2 of the distribution process. You know, give enough time for this stuff to sink in and the want to become more. If it wasn't for this bad boy here being so close to the MP10 version, I don't think that it would have went over as well, or if it didn't have the trailer. And let's speak on the trailer a little bit here. So, on camera and with my small photo booth, this thing looks pretty decent. It looks really good. A nice hefty style chunk of plastic. But in all actuality, it is, I'll get my trusty ruler out here and we'll move that over and we'll put this down here. It's not even 7 inches long. Whereas, and again, I don't have a G1 version, but I believe that one was a minimum of 10 inches. It might have even clipped 12 inches in length. Plus, I'm sure it was probably that tall. And from what you can check some of the either MGO, who else would have one? I'm thinking, I don't think Thu did it yet. I can't remember if Thu. Anyway, definitely check out probably MGO and see if he didn't do a side-by-side comparison with a G1 version. And I'll tell you, it's kind of it's underwhelming, more or less. But you have all the classic cues, this little circle here, maybe a little extra, you got this, you got all these intricate designs plus this blue, which maybe could be a darker blue, but this Autobot logo, but silver on the rims again. And that's pretty much it. Jacks. And here's the peg for connection. Speaking of connections. Oh. It sits a little far up on Prime's leg. Doesn't give enough clearance right here. Now I do know, I keep hitting this camera. Who was it? It was Patriot Prime. I think he got some 3D printed parts for Mr. Prime here that kind of shoots the trailer back a little bit, back down here somewhere. And I think that would be great. Yeah, check out his video, and I think he probably put a link in the description. I'll try to remember to maybe put a link to that particular video or any other comparison of this with G1 that I can remember by the end of this video. So it looks nice though. I mean, it does look nice and it does look the part. I just think that the trailer isn't long enough or isn't thick enough. It doesn't look like it's worth $60. I mean, that's borderline commander class stuff. So I just don't think it's worth the price tag. But it is worth the effort to get it and enjoy it because it's the closest thing that we have to a cartoon model, to a MP10 model that we can afford for collectors of Chug or the Generations line, which is something that I'm into because it is a quote unquote poor man's collection because it's not masterpiece. If you kind of get where I'm going with that. It's affordable mostly. So I am going to try to do a transformation. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to give it a shot and see how much of this I can do on camera as opposed to off. So we can go ahead and close the gas tanks up like that and start opening all these things up here like that, like this, so seesaw, hee-haw, like that. Okay, then we can pull the arms out. Of course, my little hidey away piece for his hands, they're kind of loose. I don't know if anybody else has that. They're kind of loose. All right. So I've only transformed this guy once, and I used the instructions. I'm not using the instructions now because I live dangerously. Dangerously. All right. So down here we have some waist sections. Can you see that? No, you can't because I don't have it quite in frame. So right here we have some waist sections. And I'll show you right here. You see it right there. So take that and push that around. There's a lot more paint apps in the robot version, in the robot mode, or far more things to enjoy looking at in the robot mode. And at this point, you can probably put the legs down, more or less. Lift this whole top section up like so. Lift that up like so. Fold this in. Fold that piece in. Fold that clear plastic in. And that one in. Okay. Now, you can take all this and spin it around like that. That way, you can probably get the arms out the way. And you know what? You can't see any of this. Yes, I have a old tripod I got to wind up into position. Maybe I'll just cut that out and just like, boom, it's there. It's at its proper place. Anyway, I forgot to pull the head out. So let's see if we could do it now. So we take this piece out, pull it down, pop the head around, and then push that back up. Bam. Okay. Now you got nothing in here. So what you want to do is you want to take this chest piece and fold it down till it lightly snaps into place. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Why isn't it bringing it? Oh, I forgot to fold something away. I forgot to fold this away. This is scary here because all this plastic is fairly thin, but anyway, so you got to pull this out and fold it around like so. Now you got a nice little folded up piece of front end on a tractor trailer. And this is stuff that you find on, masterpiece style figures. It's not something that you normally would find from Hasbro on Chug stuff, Generation stuff. And then when all that's said and done, you take that and fold it around till it pops into place. And then you can bring it down and it looks pretty decent. It's not bad. Next thing you want to do is come back here to the back, fold that bumper up, and close up the wheels. We'll get into this too. Open that up, pull this out, and bam, you got you some flipping hands. That, and bam, got you some more hands, and you can relax those. Now we'll take the legs and pop them loose, which they should slide into place. So at least one part, I don't know. Anyway, you got these slots here and you got these tabs here. So they pop pretty good and you can pop them loose. Take your feet. Open your feet up. Let me get these in frame. Luckily, there's another foot here. So you pull your toe out and then pull your heel out. I hate that term heel spur. I just hate it because I got bone spurs. So I know how painful that is in your feet. And this isn't a spur. This is just a heel. And what you have left is a magnificent looking Optimus Prime that is only halfway in frame. So, with a little bit of hand cranking, we are in frame. Oh, lordy. And this here is a great looking Optimus Prime. It's so awesome. From the front here, there are some issues that I have with this. But I kind of understand why they did what they did, because, if I don't quit hitting this thing, mainly because of money, and to be able to do a bunch of cover-ups, it would wind up costing a lot more money. Probably somewhere along masterpiece scale, price tags. And you don't want that. If that's the case, then go get you one of those MP10Vs. And they have trailers out for them. So if that's what you want to spend the money to create that, then that's great. But I do believe that that they are not that far off from this price tag here, depending on where you buy it from. Anyway, so you've got some yellow here, some silver here, silver here. There's your Autobot logo. This rolls over. This rolls over. All this rolls over. They could have put some yellow up here, I think. And then you got the head, which you really can't see the eyes too well, can you? No. Not all that well. Let me see if I get some light here. Oh. Not really any better, is it? I don't use the light too often because off of my camera, mainly because it does more blurring, reflecting light than anything else. But all your other colors kind of roll over from truck mode. Anyway. Articulate, you got your silver, and there is blue painted eyes in there. You can't really tell, but it is. So head sculpt looks great, and of course you still can't really see it. Man, I'm batting 1,000. But the head sculpt looks great. From what I haven't done the comparison yet, but I believe there's a bunch of this stuff that rolls over from the Earthrise. So, and I think the head's one of them. But look at all that movement there. Up, down, tilting, spins. Man, it's awesome. This is borderline masterpiece style articulation on this guy. Your arms move all the way around. They come out. 90-degree elbow. That swivels. Wrist swivels. And look at that. Hand opens up. Wow. Waist swivel. Legs come out. Full Van Dam. Forward all the way, but back is restricted. Knee. Thigh rotation. You do have the toe and heel transformation joints. The only other thing you have is the ankle rocker or foot tilt or whatever you call them. And Yeah. So, all right. Gun. Storage, it can fit like this in the back. Fit like this. And I tend to open it up and put it back like so. He holds it just fine. Look at that. Just fine. And yes, he has a shield that's on the back of his trailer, which sucks. I mean, I personally think it's just not even worth talking about. You can mention it, but it's not really worth talking about. I'd rather have the axe that he had with the siege. And it's just a awesome, pretty awesome figure. One of the problems I do have with this is that the torso itself is very short. The legs look way too long, like right here. Like the shins are way too long. That's I can deal with this being as long as it is, but they're way too long, I think, because when you look at it from afar, it just seems like maybe this is too long. I don't know. That's what it seems to me. The other thing is that chest juts out a bit too far across the ab section, and Optimus Prime was never a bodybuilder, so that can go away. And I guess the other glaring fact is the ass tires. Not ascot, ass tires. And again, I know why it couldn't be hidden away up in the chest. It's just that with all this that folds up in here, there's just no more room. But if they kind of thickened out here in order to be more in proportion with this chest piece, maybe it could have been hidden in here somewhere. But again, that's masterpiece level stuff, hiding these things away. There's been third parties that had ass tires on the back. So there's been third parties that done that. And from what I can gather, those toys sold pretty well because you can't find them. So with that being said, is there anything else? Oh, there is something else I forgot, didn't it? Didn't I? I sure did. And that is, we have an opening chest. So you can reenact the death of Prime. What? I'm gonna die? Oh. Damn. Huh? Son of a bitch. I done lost my matrix of leadership. Damn it, Jill. Damn. All right. I found it. I believe this is going to be an all clear plastic. Because you can see right through there. That's kind of see the dark. It's light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. Okay. It's pretty neat. It's nice. I won't tip him over like that again with that open. It's hard as hell to get it out. If I knew I was going to have to just tip it over and it drop right out, I would have done that a long time ago when I was messing with him. So there you have Optimus Prime in robot mode. And if you don't stop hitting the fucking camera, here's the trailer. And it's a trailer that's technically upside down. So this trailer is about the same size as Prime. So let's go ahead and that's what I'm talking about. This trailer should probably be something like, maybe not quite that much more, but somewhere about like that. That's about an inch and an eighth, something like that. Taller than Prime. So here's the little shield, and I'm not going to take it out unless it falls out. We open this up, and the trailer does that. It's pretty neat. You got holes in here in order to hold weapons. You have a working thing here. He's a thing. Thang. Thang. Yeah, it's stupid. Anyway, so it's pretty reminiscent of the original. Kind of see the little cockpit there, and this is where he was supposed to have his little launching bullets thing, his little rockets. And you got this 2 claws as opposed to what, a claw and a something or another. Oh no. I forgot to put the freaking jack stands up. There we go. Now, super awesome. So, of course, just like everything else, Prime can lay down in it. And that's another thing. Like I said, it should be a little bit longer. That way there's some room in there for Prime, to roll over and kick around a little bit. Just to be relaxed so he's not so cramped. And this guy can work on them. No. Hey, where you going? Come on back over here. There we go. Right. And as we all know, he looks a ton better in this thing, getting worked on. Oh, camera up. Whew. Man. Okay, So he doesn't really stand too hot on his little garage door there. But this guy can still work on him like so. Hey now, how are you, bro? I'm just trying to fix you. Just trying to fix here. Just doing it. Da, 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 So, you can work on them. It's pretty neat. It's all right. Oh, get out my face. Oh, out my face. Oh, okay. The other thing that we can do here is pull this son of a gun off. And he can just fly around. Shh, like Superman. Shh. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's something or another. Shh. Need a shoe shine? No. Yeah. It sticks on the back. Right there. Look at that. He just now prime. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. What am I going to do with you? Can you get shit in frame? You know what? You better quit cussing. You're supposed to be a role model for people. So, let's see. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of looks good as some kind of jetpack. Yeah, let's do it like that. I don't know. I know. I think you're drunk. You are drunk. Till all are drunk. Damn. Somebody has some issues. I would dare say it's operator. It's operator error. So we'll go ahead and close this bad boy back up and put this thing off to the side out here. And get my drunk ass prime up. How's that look? That looks all right. What do we gotta do a comparison with my siege counterpart? Shut up. Let me go get him. Damn it, Jim. So we're back. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Yeah. I like the little techie stuff in here. He doesn't have any. Hey, quit using that finger. I don't like those smokestacks, but I do like his. They painted his little headlights, running lights, yellow. Didn't paint his at all. Use a real faint yellow here and use a nice dark yellow right there. Didn't paint that at all silver, but did paint his. And get to looking at, move. Looking at the legs here. Kind of looks like it's the same leg, don't it? Yeah. It does look like it's the same leg. How about the head? Do, 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 do. It's blurry, blurry. The camera can't focus. focus. The camera can't focus. We just like to dance here and dance all night. Cause the camera can't focus. Camera can't focus because you're a dummy. Hey, 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 hey. All I can say is y'all are so rude. Rude. Okay. Sorry, guys. Doctor said there'd be days like this. All right. So one of the biggest things that we can look at and see is that how much this chest jets out than this one. The back here is hidden, but it does have a lot of junk right there. Whereas this is a bit cleaner because everything is, is recessed or laying flat to the furthest point here. And it just kind of fills everything out so it doesn't look so hollow or so empty in certain places. The legs kind of look better on Earthrise from the back, although I like this. They're still filled in. Both of them have their good spots. That's why I haven't gotten rid of this figure yet. And I may keep him around. The other thing is that I guess this Prime might have maybe a millimeter height difference on this one. Maybe. I mean, it's so close you can't really tell. But the proportions here look way better than on this one. And what I'm saying is that see how smaller the hips are here, or the abdomen, lower part of the body here, the crotchal region. And this looks tapered better and a little more elongated, whereas this one looks short and stumpy. It's just, I would say he need to be a little bit taller, stretch the torso out to match the legs. I've got that problem. I know it's in the legs on Earthrise Prime. So you would have to stretch the torso out or shorten the legs. The other thing I have is that I don't like the gun. The gun looks, it's just huge. Whereas this one is a lot thinner. It's I like this one better than this one. They get this little section out the way and it would be great, a great rifle. Whereas this one is just, it's a big, thick barrel. I don't know. But yeah, so I ran this thing on probably long enough. Yeah. So you got my gripes about Earthrise Prime. The money for the product, I don't think is worth it. The legs are too long in comparison with the torso. And then you have your ass tires. But again, it has some great stuff. I mean, there's articulation out the ass on this figure, including hands that actually open up, matrix of leadership in the chest. You know what I mean? These things go a long way when it comes to wanting to make a purchase on something. I think they put enough into the figure to warrant a collector wanting to spend the money to pick up the addition of a trailer. The trailer's not long enough, it's not tall enough, and the peg on the legs is positioned a little bit too far up towards the cab, so therefore you don't get a full turn out of your tractor trailer. Whereas the G1 did it perfectly. And I think it's a great effort, but in some ways the G1 version of these figures, especially in their alt modes, in their vehicle modes, jet modes, etc., wins out over the current stuff. So I'm not saying it's a bad figure. I'm saying, you know, maybe for some of these having such a high price point, they could have improved on it just a little bit. What I am looking for, and we all seen the pictures floating around Facebook at least, that we're getting some kind of sleep mode prime, which I'm hoping that it's just not all painted up complete yet. That was more like a prototype. But what I do want to see is a Nemesis Prime. I really want a Nemesis Prime. I know we got one for the Siege Prime over here, and I would be fine with that one. Bring that one here to the US as a selects. Let me pick it up, put it in my collection. Bam. That's what I want. I want a Nemesis Prime. Unless you're going to give me Earthrise Prime with a, what is it? A tanker on it, and make it a cab over style tanker Scourge. I don't know. I wouldn't mind it. But there again, I'm waiting patiently. I really want a Nemesis Prime off of one of these two figures. But with that being said, guys, yeah, it's, I don't know what else to say. It's a great figure. And if you find it and you really want an Optimus Prime that's more reminiscent of either MP10 or the G1 model, then pick it up. It's a little expensive, but I think for your collection, hate to say it, but it's worth the money. And I guess to end the video, like, subscribe, tell your friends that there's some kind of drunk person making Transformer videos. Yeah. I don't know what else. You can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and I do have Patreon. So, right. Until next time, guys, enjoy.